My name is Nick, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the Egyptian Hakim and 8mm Mauser. This is a semi-automatic rifle designed by the Swedish, who lent their tooling and expertise to the Egyptians in the mid-50s. This Hakim is in pretty good shape, but Bubba did put his hands on this one before I took possession. As you can see, the handguard's been chopped down. Normally it would extend to the muzzle. There have also been 5 little 3/4-inch slots cut in the top piece of the handguard, presumably to relieve a little bit of heat. I'm not sure if you can see that real well or not, but the front side has also been modified. The hood that would normally surround the blade has been cut off, and I also suspect that the stock has been refinished at some point. But I bought it as a shooter, and overall I would say that he's not in too bad a shape for being 60-plus years old. I only gave $400 for this rifle with 16 stripper clips and a 25-round magazine. Same money could have bought a bottom-of-the-barrel low-grade AK variant, but I've always wanted a full-house battle rifle, and the M14 is a little out of my price range. This rifle utilizes a direct impingement adjustable gas system. You do need a special tool to adjust the flow of gas, and you would secure it to this doohickey here and turn it clockwise or counterclockwise to open or close the gas valve. But it's a good feature that allows you to tune the rifle for optimal performance with whichever ammunition you happen to be using. And it's a real great feature because a lot of that military surplus stuff varies quite dramatically from load to load depending on where it comes from. I have read that Turkish military surplus ammunition is just a little too warm for the Hakim. Might be, might not be. Personally, I don't use it in mine. Moving on to the manual of arms, which is a little strange with the Egyptian Hakim, but in use, it's not too difficult to pick up. To cycle the action, you need to grab onto the 2 serrated slots on the receiver cover and pull them forward and then completely to the rear, and that will jump the bolt carrier and bolt forward and chamber around. Looks like that. This rifle uses detachable magazines. The factory mags are 10-rounders. I did recently send off a 25-round German MG13 magazine to a fellow out in Washington to be converted for use in my Hakim. I'm going to go ahead and test that out this weekend. But truthfully, this rifle was designed to be charged with stripper clips. The bolt does hold open on the last shot, and if I have one criticism of this weapon system, it's that before you go to recharge that rifle, you have to engage the safety. Because the bolt and bolt carrier can jump forward on you, and you really do not want your fingers in that action when that happens. Anyhow, you would flip the safety on, and then take 2 regular 5-round stripper clips, Mauser stripper clips, and place them in the stripper clip guide and charge them into the magazine, not unlike you would with an SKS. I am a pretty big fan of the stripper clips because I have easily over 300 now loaded, ready to go, and I would need 150 detachable box magazines to carry that amount of ammunition ready to load. The detachables are faster, they're more practical, and they're a lot more expensive, especially for an old uncommon battle rifle like this. Let's take a moment to talk about the cartridge. The 8mm Mauser is perhaps slightly more powerful than the American 30-06. And most of the ammunition that you're going to encounter in this country, an 8mm Mauser is going to be corrosive military surplus. That's no big deal. Basically just means that you cannot be lax in your cleaning habits. You're not going to get away with rinsing the bore and scrubbing the bolt face like you might on your Nagant. This is a semi-auto direct impingement, and it's throwing corrosive salt all over all the internals and all the externals. So you need to really ritualistically scrub everything on this rifle. Get it nice and clean. Everybody has their own method of cleaning up after shooting corrosive ammunition. I'm not going to detail that here. There's plenty of good videos out there detailing proper cleanup. So most full house battle rifles firing full-fledged cartridges are going to bark and recoil like a monster. Not so with the Hakim. My 110-pound girlfriend shoots the rifle with ease until she begins to complain about the weight. There's virtually no recoil, at least no more appreciable recoil than you would experience shooting an AR-15 and 5.56. That's due in no small part to the fact that this is an old-school battle rifle, heavy steel and wood, and that probably soaks up a good deal of that recoil. But there's also this real crafty muzzle brake, which displaces a lot of that energy that would normally be absorbed by your shoulder very effectively. The trade-off is that this is without a doubt the loudest weapon I've ever been around. It rattles my brain with hearing protection. Combat accuracy with the Hakim is very acceptable. My bore happens to be bright and shiny, and I plan on keeping it that way. I have not been able to test it past 200 yards, but at that distance I was able to hold 6-inch 10-shot groups standing without a rest, and to me that's more than acceptable. The effective range of the Hakim is some 500 to 600 yards. I doubt my eyes would play ball at that distance, but it's nice to know that the rifle is fully capable. The trigger pull is just a little heavy, but it's smooth and it's consistent. Reliability on my example has been very acceptable. I haven't fired more than 300 rounds in between cleaning, but after 300 rounds, everything on this rifle was absolutely filthy, and it continued to truck on, much to its credit. One of the most prominent criticisms of the Egyptian Hakim is the overall size and weight of this rifle. It is hefty, but I did compile some figures that pit the Egyptian Hakim head-to-head against several battle rifles of the same period.